Now we go back to candidate Steiner, and here's the question. The current strategic plan on the website covers 2021 to 2024. As you look ahead in the next plan, and there's 4 parts to this question, what strategies are being used to recruit and retain high-quality elementary teachers? How does the school promote a positive and inclusive learning environment? What should the current key priorities for the elementary school district be? And how does the board plan to involve parents in decision-making processes?
Well, the first and last ones I really can't speak to yet. I look forward to learning more about them and being able to speak to them at the next candidate forum. But I think, and obviously I can only speak to Waterbury right now, I see evidence throughout just our group, my kids' friends, of how well Waterbury addresses every kid's needs and meets them where they're at. My kiddos are great kids, they're terrific students, and I also see their friends who are the high flyers, the kids who have additional resources available to them to help them be the best they can be, and the other kiddos who need a little bit extra help and are still provided those additional services so that they can be at a level playing field. Everyone's learning, everyone's growing, everyone's supported and encouraged. We love it there.
Okay. Candidate Carone?
I'm sorry, can you?
You need to repeat it? Absolutely.
That was a lot to take in.
It is long.
It's been a long day.
The current strategic plan on the website covers 2021 to 2024. As you look ahead to the next plan, and there's 4 parts, what strategies are being used to recruit and retain high-quality elementary teachers? How does the school promote a positive and inclusive learning environment? What should the current key priorities for the elementary school district be? And how does the board plan to involve parents in decision-making processes?
Okay, so as far as, again, I can't speak much on the first part, but like recruitment is not knowing how they're doing, but like recruitment for us, it's all about getting the best people possible. And to do that, you got to make sure that they understand that the environment they're coming in is going to be very inclusive to them, and that, you know, just, it's hard to explain. It's very, very tough recruitment question for me, but for us, being on the board, it's all about, you know, what their benefits are going to be, and I'm just going that route. But then as far as the promote the positivity and key priority, I think that goes hand in hand, because it goes the promotion and the promoting the positivity and the key priorities are the key for a good cohesive schooling system. If everybody is able to work together, I think that alone makes the recruitment good right there.
Okay. Candidate Coppola.
Okay, so in my initial interview for when I applied to be a board member, they asked me a similar question, and Dr. Castillo asked me how we can do some of these things, and I will tell you what I said to him, and it made my husband cringe. I said we need to shove District 20 down people's throats. We need to be out there constantly with the propaganda, showing people what we're doing, because we're doing a lot of great things. We need to be using things like social media. We need to be doing things like word of mouth. We need to be holding big events to get the parents in the community involved. We need to show people and tell people what we're already doing and in bolstering up District 20 in the community. I know that sometimes there can be a negative connotation about 20 for one reason or another, but if people really understood what 20 was doing and what we're bringing to the table, I think it would entice more teachers to look at 20 for employment. And I think it would get the parents more involved when they really saw the nitty-gritty of what it is we're doing and what it is that we're hoping to do in the future. The inclusion, the different events. Stop sign, got it, sorry.
Okay. Next question, we're going to begin with candidate Carone, and this is from the audience. What is the most pressing problem you would address if elected? What steps would you take to achieve your goal?
As of right now, there isn't many problems that I've seen coming from the school, so it's going to be a hard question to answer. I mean, we have see the other aspects of the school, I pretty much see Waterbury and Springwood, and everything I see there, I really don't see a problem. Everybody works together great, the kids all get along great. I don't think I've ever seen my girls have mentioned anything bad, my son's never mentioned anything bad. So as of right now, I really don't see a problem. It's a hard question to answer for me.
And then Coppola.
I don't know that it's necessarily a problem, but again, I would say that I would like to be able to bolster up the image of the district and the community. I want there to be more attention brought to 20 and the things that we're doing to 20. So one thing that I want to focus on is all the amazing things we're doing at Greenberry. I know we're doing a lot of Waterbury talk right now because we are on this side of the street, but I had the privilege of volunteering some hours with my company at Greenbrook last year for Earth Day. We brought saplings to all of the students at Greenbrook, and we planted trees with all of them, and we taught them about Earth Day and recycling, and it was the most fantastic day. I've already started planning it for this year. Greenbrook is lovely enough to welcome us back. I just think that those kind of things and those kind of events and watching these kids in their element and doing their thing and being the most amazing students that they are, we need to get more of that out into the community so that we can get that community feedback and again, get those teachers coming in and filling the empty spots that we have so that we have the resources needed to go forward.
Okay, Candidate Steiner, you aware of a pressing problem?
I'm not, and if there is one, then kudos to the administration and the school staff for doing such a great job of conveying a cohesive family unit where that kind of thing would not be presented. It doesn't come through that way. In all my conversations with staff, with administrators, with students, teachers, anybody, I haven't heard complaints. I hear really great, wonderful things and spend time at the closest I've heard to a complaint is standing outside in the cold for pickup when it was really cold that day. I think everyone does a good job of presenting a unified front.
Okay, I think we have time for two more questions. With candidate Coppola beginning, do you have any experience negotiating union contracts, and how would you approach the negotiation process to balance the needs of both staff and students?
So I do have some negotiating experience. One of our plants is a union, and then I also have the experience of non-union, so I have both sides of the street on that one. As far as how we negotiate, we have to make sure that we're listening to the needs of the teachers, but we're also addressing the needs of the students, right? We need to make sure that everybody's getting what they need is fairly and that we can justify where we're putting the resources and where we're putting the money so that, I mean, let's face it, the teachers are there to teach to make money. They have a family to feed too, right? So we need to make sure that we're paying them appropriately so they're able to do what they need to do and that they're being recognized for the time they're putting in. We all know teachers don't make enough money. It's not like it's a not known fact. So I would work desperately to get them what they need because we want to be able to retain their talent to teach our students, right? We need to make sure that we have the best of the best to give our students the best of the best. But also looking at it from a person who lives in the community, I need to save my pennies too. So there is definitely an ebb and flow and a balance that needs to take place. I think just we'd have to look at it from a fair justification. Stop sign. Here we go. I'm a talker, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Okay, candidate Steiner.
I have hired every coach we have employed at CrossFit Roselle in the last several years. And part of my job is being able to pay well enough to get really quality coaches in place so that my athletes stay and are happy and meet their goals. And I would like to think that would directly translate to being able to hire within the district as well. And to Amanda's point, we need to be able to recruit high quality people the same way I do from my small business. And we have to do it in a way that also provides the opportunity for long-term success and viability of the district, just like it does for my business.
Yes, I am currently on the union by the sheriff's office, and we're actually going through negotiations right now. So I understand the inner workings of making sure everything is worded properly, making sure that everybody's getting what they need. And I understand both sides. We're trying to get something for all our deputies, and the administration's trying to get something that's going to be useful for them. So I know there's always going to be that, there's always going to start off high and everybody's, high and low, but then eventually we'll get down to the middle part of it and come to a final agreement. And I don't know if we want to get too detailed right now, but there's a lot of workings when you're dealing with negotiations and unions and different boards and who wants what, and you gotta also speak to the teachers and everybody involved to see what they need, what they want. And for us, it's the whole, it's again, a community. Everybody pitches into what they want for our contracts, and that's where we start everything from.
Okay, candidate Steiner. Last question. What is your stance on school vouchers, and how do you believe they impact access to quality education for all students in our district? I can't take credit for it.
Or rather, tough question. It's something that I would need to spend more time listening to input to be able to create a fully formed opinion about what was best for the students. My goal with everything, as I've said, is to help first. So whatever provides the best opportunity for our students as well as our teachers and our families would be my priority.
Candidate Carone, do you have an opinion on vouchers?
I was talking about like the school choice vouchers.
That's what I'm assuming it means.
Okay.
I can write the question.
Yeah, so with that, I mean, with our district, I don't think there's much of an opportunity. I mean, I can see that more for like the CP, because I grew up in the CPS system. So I could understand that working better out in there. But out this way, I don't see it working as much. The school vouchers here, I don't think would be a beneficial thing to hear, because we have great schools as it is, you know, compared to where I came through. So it's kind of, it is a tough question. I mean, I've never had to use them. I mean, I'm sure my mom would have loved to use them when we were growing up, but now I wouldn't want it. I didn't need them. So it's, you know.
Okay, candidate Coppola.
I am also a CPS kid, so I understand Tony's point. I was very new to the, you just go to the school they tell you to when I moved out here, mid-high school. So again, as a special needs parent, there is a different way that they direct you to where your child is going to go to school. And it wasn't always necessarily, when my son was in 54, he wasn't always going to the school that I thought was best for him. It was very hard for him to maintain relationships and make friends because it wasn't our home school all the time. And so that again was another roadblock to his a road to inclusion. I think education is a very personal thing for a family. You know your child best. You know where you think they're going to fit in best. I do agree that we have fantastic schools in D20, so it's not as prevalent of a problem, if you will, but it is a very personal choice. You know, you may feel that your child is better suited at Greenbrook than at Waterbury or vice versa. So I think it's something that needs to be looked into. It needs to be something that is discussed, and if it is something that is relevant to a family or a student, it definitely is worth the conversation. But I don't think we should count anything out 100% until we get all the facts.
Okay, so that's it for the question and answer portion. Now we're going to go to the closing statements, which are only 1 minute. If any of these people would like to have a seat, there's still a lot of empty seats. You might have to sit in the front or first or second row. But we're going to begin with candidate Steiner, your 1 minute closing statement. Thank you.
Thank you again to everyone for being here tonight. Serving on the school board is about doing what's best for kiddos, families, and teachers, and making sure every student has access to the opportunities they need to succeed, while ensuring the district's resources are used wisely. My background in journalism and business and community leadership allows me to bring a helpful combination of experience, financial understanding, and a commitment to transparent decision-making. But most importantly, I'm also bringing the perspective of a parent of 2 kiddos within this school district. I'm excited for the future of our school district, and I love the opportunity to be able to help shape it. Hope I earned your support tonight. Thank you.
Candidate Carone.
So, yes.
We're gonna go
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
That's right.
We'll give you the final word.
So I agree. I mean, it wasn't prepared for this closing statement part, but I think given the opportunity to do this, I can do an excellent job and understand, like I said, I'm a big picture person, so having everything in front of me would make things a lot easier. But I feel like I can hopefully get things done that the district needs, and having kids going through a district, I have that personal stake, and I do want to be a voice for the parents as well as for myself, but I want to make sure that even kids coming down the line are going to have that experience that my girls had, my son had. You know, it's that whole community thing. I'm always going to harp on the community. I'm a big community person, but the parents need to have a word, need to have a voice, and I just want to be that voice for them.
Okay, your turn.
Oh, now my turn, okay. Bottom line, as candid as I can possibly be, I owe so much of my gratitude to District 20 for everything they did for my son and everything they're continuing to do for my daughter now that she's at Waterbury, and will do for Rocco when he gets to Waterbury as well. I am a mom first and foremost more than anything else, and I want to ensure that I can give future students coming in and current students the same opportunities and the same experience that my son had, and hopefully they benefited from it just as much. I also, as I mentioned earlier, I want to be a voice for those who don't always have the loudest voice in the room. There are special needs students and special needs families within our community who need that support, who need that voice, who need somebody to fight for them. And yes, it's very centralized in my mind. I want to work for everybody, but I do hold a special place in my heart for them, and I want to be able to do everything in my power to give those kids the time and the attention that they deserve.
Okay. Join me in thanking the candidates.